What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated, right? So, the New York Giants pull off a miraculous victory, their biggest victory in years, by beating the Arizona Cardinals 31-28. Oh, man, talking about just getting over a hangover, right? From what happened last week, that debacle over down there in the back of the Meadowlands against the Cowboys, right? But that's all over, right? It's just over. It's finished. Because the Giants just pulled off one of the biggest victories, biggest comebacks ever, right? They're down 20 points in the first half. Listen, I just want to chalk up the first half as just a hangover, right? Let's just say that. Let's just say it was a hangover from last week. It was carrying over, just all the issues that they had, being unsure of themselves. It felt like the Dallas game was being played in the first half, right? Let's just say that. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't cover. They couldn't run the offense. They just couldn't do anything, right? But the second half comes an explosion, right? The Giants, just their offense was just explosive, right? First half, like I said, they were down 20-0. Second half, they score 31 points and outscore the Cardinals 31-8 in the second half, 14 points in the third quarter, 17 points in the fourth, led by Daniel Jones, 26 for 37, 321 yards, 2 touchdowns, the 1 INT in the first half, 9 rushes, 59 yards, and 1 touchdown on the ground. He just took over. That's just it, plain and simple, right? When you're watching these games and you're saying, okay, you know what? What's going to make us be one of the better teams in the league, right? It's your quarterback. Your quarterback runs the show. Of course, you look at Patrick Mahomes, what he is, Jalen Hurts, right? Joe Burrow, right? The list goes on and on. Josh Allen, we could say, right? The top dogs in this league, the top teams, of course, have that golden arm quarterback, the guy that calls the shots. And that's what we were hoping that Daniel Jones would become when we gave him that big-time contract, and he came up huge today. First half, he looked like chopped cheese. If anybody don't know what chopped cheese is, stuff we serve in New York City, go look it up. But anyway, yeah, he looked like chopped cheese in the first half. Second half, I don't know what happened in that locker room. I'm a player, so I can imagine some things that were said, some things that went down. I don't want to get into it, right? If I was a fly on that wall, trust me, I'm sure some things that were said we don't want to repeat, right? But then the Giants came out. Someone lit a fire underneath everybody's you-know-what. And it just everybody was explosive. They came out. Huge play from Daniel Jones. Down the seam, right down the middle to Jalen Hyatt, which was amazing play by him. And then he just was consistent with Darren Waller, who led the team with 6 receptions. Saquon Barkley also had 6, but Darren Waller had 6 receptions, 76 yards. He was just doing what we knew he could do. Destroy that middle of the field, which opened the outside and the deep threats. Isaiah Hodgins was big also, but Darius Slayton came up with a couple of big catches as well. It was just a total team effort. He spread the ball around. Jalen Hyatt had 2 receptions. Darren Waller had 6. Darius Slayton had 3. Isaiah Hodgins had 4. Saquon Barkley had 6. Paris Campbell had 4 receptions. That's how it's got to look when you're spreading the ball around. Period. End of story. That's how it's got to look. When you're playing a team like this and you pretty much know that you're better than the team, that's what you got to do. You got to dominate. You got to come out and you got to dominate, right? But enough talking to me. Let's get straight to these highlights, right? Big time win, big time win, big time win. And most importantly, not just a big time win, I'm going to have to say a much needed victory. Excuse me, sorry about that. Much needed victory. It was. Period in the story. And especially going into, playing, of course, the 49ers on Thursday. We get 3 days off. We needed a victory like this, especially against a team that we know is not, they're not better than us. We're way better than these guys. We are. Period. End of story. And the way we looked in the first half looked like a team that just was unsure of himself. The second half is the team that we thought we was going to see against the Cowboys. That's the team that we've been hearing about in training camp, just looking explosive. That second half was the team that we've been hearing about. Of course, the defense was kind of shaky in the first half. I'm a little concerned about them. Dexter Lawrence came to play. But I don't know. Once again, we don't know what was said in the locker room. But things got tightened up. And they pretty much was ready to go. And I love that. And I love the fight that the team showed. Of a game like this, the Giants would have lost a couple years ago. They would have. They would have just packed it in, hung it up, and just got blown out like they got blown out last week. But what I'm big on is what a team does when they're down. Not when they're winning, when it's sunny out. What does a team look like when they're down, when their backs are against the wall? And after that first half, it felt like the Giants had their backs against the wall. They just did. Because a game like this could pretty much have been the end of the season. Honestly, just watching them play and how they looked in that first half, it just looked like they did not have it. But then they pretty much was led by their quarterback. That's the key, guys. I said it earlier and I'm going to say it again. All the great teams are led by their quarterback, are led by a guy who understands the importance of leading your team and carrying your team and getting their spirits up. When their spirits are down, they might not believe in themselves. They're in their heads. They're overthinking things. But you need a quarterback, a guy that's an alpha dog in that locker room, that's going to pretty much be up to pick up the morale of the guys and say, listen, man, we're going to go down here and we're going to score. We're going to score on this play. The greats do that. Patrick Mahomes, all of them do that. Because they believe in their skill set. They know what they can do. And the team believes in them. If the Giants go really, really far this year, this is a game that we're going to be able to look back to and say, okay, this was the game that changed the season. Not a game that broke the season, but a game that changed the season. Now, of course, we're a little worried, a little cautious now because Saquon Barkley came up with an ankle injury right at the end of the game. So hopefully he's okay. The good thing is that it's not a knee, right? Of course, him having, ACL issues before. So hopefully it's just a sprain. Hopefully he can come back Thursday, but I don't know. 3 days, that's a lot. I have a feeling he's going to be out Thursday. But hopefully we can get back Andrew Thomas. But speaking of Andrew Thomas, what about that O-line, guys? To me, the O-line was solid. First half, it was okay, but second half, they were solid. Evan Neal, only 2 penalties. Better this weekend. He looked better. Now, of course, the Cardinals aren't the Cowboys. But all we want to see is growth. All we want to see is getting better. That's all we want to see. Are you getting better? And I have to say, guys, the O-line was decent today. Josh Zudo on the left side, he held up pretty good for coming in for Andrew Thomas. So, to me, I was happy with that. I was happy with how they looked. Very, very happy with Evan Neal. But if you notice, Glowinski was out. Forget the rookie, second year guy. He was in for Glowinski. I forget his name, man. I wish if anybody can say his name, please put it in the comments. Forget his name. But he was in for Glowinski. Glowinski sat today. They took him out. They benched him. But he wound up coming in because Brett Bredesen, he went down with a concussion, man. He kind of got helmet to helmet, and he went down. Kind of a scary thing, right? He kind of stood up and then fell. His equilibrium was off. That's a scary thing. I didn't think he was going to come back after what I saw on TV. But the O-line held up. They really, really did. Daniel Jones had time and was carving up the Cardinals in the second half. And that's what I love to see. But you see that shot right there, Jalen Hyatt, man. He looks like the goods. He looks like he could be a number one guy. Stretching the field. But altogether, how can you not love the effort today of this team? Not the first half, but the second half. 31 big points. When has a Giants team ever done that before? It's the biggest comeback in Giants history, I believe. 31 big points in the second half. That shows you how good that offense is. Now, of course, people are going to say, oh, the Cardinals are terrible. They're not that good. They're seen as the worst team in the league. They're tanking, waiting to try to get Caleb Williams coming out next year. But to me, they're still an NFL team. And to me, there's nothing better than working on things to get your confidence up. Because to me, the first half and even that last game against Dallas, I knew the Giants are a better team than that. A way better team. And in the second half, that is the team that we thought we was going to see last Sunday night. Right? That's the team we thought we was going to see. But we saw them today. And to me, this could be a major, major momentum boost for this team. Big time. Big time. And wins like this really help wake the guys up, right? Because they seemed like they was in a trance, right? They just did. I have to be honest. But your quarterback, let them down, man. Let them down. Led them to victory. Was running the ball, checking the ball down, firing the ball in that middle of Darren Waller. I don't know what happened in the second half. I don't know what was said in the locker room. But they woke up because the Giants were in the trance, man. They were like sleepwalking for the last 6 quarters. For 2 quarters, they scored 31 points, man. Huge. And what can you say about Isaiah Hodgins, man? What can you say about Darius Slayton? Those guys got Isaiah Hodgins off the street last year, man. Darius Slayton wasn't even thought to probably be part of the team. Those guys have picked it up, came up with big catches today. Huge. And is Darren Waller a game changer or what? A game changer. If the Giants can use him exactly how the Chiefs use Kelsey, we can be a dangerous team. Dangerous. Now, I'm a little concerned about the defense. I am. I have to admit it. When I get no push and I get no pass rush. Dexter Lawrence looks good in there. But Leonard Williams, they did not call his name at all. Thibodeau maybe once. McFadden, I don't know. He disappeared. But I like our corners. I do. Trey Hawkins almost had a pick today. Covered well when they went for a deep threat. He covered well. I love our corners. I love those young guys. I really, really, really do. Banks is tough, man. He's really, really tough. I love how gritty he is. But to me, altogether, it's a total team effort. Total team effort, spearheaded by the quarterback. When the quarterback comes up with big plays like that, it leads the team, and every time you get a stop, you know you're going to score. That changes everything. It lifts the momentum of the guys. It really, really does. Here's a play right here by Trey Hawkins I thought was great right here. Great covering back there on Hollywood Brown. But let me know, Giants fans, how are you guys feeling? I mean, you got to be feeling good at this point. You have to be. This is what we've been wanting for our quarterback. We wanted him to see how he plays, and look how well he's doing. Look how well he did. Look how he carried the team. And now we have a weapon in Darren Waller. Now we have a deep threat in Jalen Hyatt. And the Giants finally woke up. They finally got out the trance, and they finally realized, like, hey, man, this is the regular season. Let's wake up. And this offense has got me excited. What I saw in that second half, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, the key is we got to see how we're going to turn it around, right? We got 3 days off. We're staying out in Arizona. And we got to see how we're able to turn it around. Because before you know it, it's going to be Thursday. We're going up to the 49ers, who are legit, right? I believe they won today. That defense is ferocious. Just as good as the Cowboys, if not better. Ferocious. So hopefully Andrew Thomas is back because we're going to need him. We are. I doubt if Brett Bredesen plays that concussion protocol, he's going to maybe out a couple of games. 3 days is not going to be enough for him to pass concussion protocol. So those are things we got to think about, right? What's this O-line going to look like? Because today they showed up. but they showed up against an inferior team. But to me, it doesn't matter. Inferior, still an NFL team. Or you just need sometimes just one or two things to go your way, and you can get a victory and you can get a win, and that's all that you need to raise the morale of the team. But now we got to carry that over, because going up to San Francisco is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough act to follow. It really, truly is, because they are legit. To me, they would have gave the Eagles a run for their money if they did not, be on their fourth or fifth string quarterback, whatever it was last year. But I'm happy. I'm not jumping out the window, but I'm optimistic because I love what I saw. I love the fight that I saw. And that's all that you want to see from your team. But big win. Big win. Much needed win. We needed this big time. Big time, big time, big time. Feels good. But listen, I'm LV Live, and that's my show. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button, people, all right? Also, too, if it's your first time coming by, please leave comments, and please subscribe, all right? Let's go, G-Men. Let's get another one in San Fran. Let's pick it up. We got 3 days off, and we'll be back, all right? I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out, people. Peace.